There are 3 essays to write for scholarships offered through the Financial Aid Office. They say optional, but remember, it's not optional if you want to show them who you are and earn those dollars that will help you to pay for school. I usually save all my essays in a Google Doc folder to reuse these essays in the future. You might need to tweak a little bit to update what is needed, but this way you won't need to type the same essays each year. Autobiography. In this section, we want to tell them who you are. So let's brainstorm a few ideas that might include in that essay. First of all, saying something like, "My name is Samantha from Brazil and I study communication," doesn't make who I am. So let's dive deep. Remember about your audience and think of things that they will find valuable to know about you. Family situation. If you had a supportive family, share about the sacrifices that your parents had to make for you to get where you are today. How do you want to give them back? How do you want to serve others who didn't come from a structured family? How do you want to keep your family's example to give your children good education opportunities? If you had a different family, it's very common to find people that have divorced parents, that have lived with relatives, and didn't have a lot of support from their parents. Share what growing up looked like. Are you a first-generation student? First-generation students are those whose parents didn't go to university. That's the time to be vulnerable and make them feel something if you have stories that can touch their hearts. Other things you can include are hobbies that have helped you to grow your personality and your passions. Remember about your audience and keep focused on what they want to hear about you. What they don't want to hear about your fans trips, dedication to following fashion trends, Instagram followers, and your high school score. Education. Here's your time to tell them about the things you have done towards learning. Do you like studying? If yes, share how you felt while learning, discovering things and the activities outside school that you didn't because you wanted to learn. If you didn't like to study, it is okay to not fit the cookie cutter. If you didn't like to study but still see the value that comes from learning, share how you have strived to accomplish this even though it was difficult for you. You can mention things that the prophets have said about the value of education and being self-resilient. For example, Elder Barlow has shared recently on Facebook about his regret of dropping out of school. Did you learn any skills on your own? They like to see people that are self-driven. What do you want to major in? Why do you have interest in this major? How will this benefit others in the future if you chose this career? The BYU motto says, "Enter to learn, go forth to serve." It's not just about making money, getting famous, buying a nice house and car. BYU values people that want to make a change out of there. A few examples of what you could write changing the focus from you to serving others. I want to be a doctor because I'm passionate about how the human body works. It is a God gift and I want to learn more about it. After I graduated, I went to volunteer in a community and help those that don't have money to pay for health care. I want to find a cure for HIV. I believe that my curious mind, along with my passion for the subject, will motivate me to work hard and find a cure for this disease that affects so many. Remember to be true to yourself and write about real goals and desires that you have. Don't use this example as I have written, otherwise others will do as well and you are going to see as a plagiarist. I know that many of us female students desire to become a stay-at-home mom, and that's okay. However, don't add that in your first paragraph because that's something that they will see in a lot of applications. Let them know first what's unique about you, and it's okay for you to include that. I include that in one of my last paragraphs. If you are an undecided major, tell them about a few options that look appealing to you and what you're doing to explore these options. Tell them how each option would bring a different outcome and how you'll serve people depending on your choice. Volunteer. If you aren't doing volunteer work, start now. There are several options that you can opt in, and they don't require a lot from you. They might not care much about how many hours you have done, but mostly about how consistent you are. These show that you have been putting aside some hours to serve others. Remember that these people that are donating money for scholarships are serving people as well, and they look for mind-like people. The Why Serve has several opportunities you can join, but you are also free to choose a different project you might be interested in. Don't forget to mention church callings, temple if you're a temple worker, or attend regularly in your mission. And your mission in the last paragraphs, as many others have served missions as well. Again, put whichever info makes you stand out at first paragraphs.